One thing that hasn't changed is the fiduciary duty debate. That has been going on, obviously, for decades. Do you think basically a rule is needed?
I do think it's time for a rule. It's probably been time for a rule for decades, actually, but I think that the SEC should act in this area. We saw the DOL come in and take some steps that were, in my mind, quite destructive. And so I think it's good for us to come in with our experience, the experience that our staff brings to the issue, and really address it, I think, from a better and more principled standpoint. And so I'm looking forward to doing something in the area. I will say that people have been talking about this best interest standard. Everyone who comes in tells me people should operate in best interest. And I still don't understand what it means, because it means something different to everyone who mentions it to me. So I hope that we can put some meat on the bones of what that might actually mean in practice. But I will say that you should be careful for what you ask for, because I think investment advisors have long been calling for more regulation for people under the 34 Act, but typically when you ask for regulation for other people, it means more regulation for you as well. So I would just caution you on that front. It's very important to me that whatever we do, we maintain options for people, so that I don't think every customer, every client wants the same thing, and so I want to make sure that we have a variety of payment models, that we have a variety of levels of services that people are able to access. And so whatever we do, I hope that we'll end up addressing that. And then another area, I think it's been very clear to me that there's been investor confusion. And so I do hope that we can do something to address that problem, that we can really make sure that we come up with something that will help people to understand what the nature of their relationship is and how they're paying for the service that they're getting. So that, I think, could be the most positive thing that comes out of this.
Conceptually, what would you think, how would you approach the problem, if you will, of the different standards for different financial professionals?
Well, so I think the disclosure piece is one, so you want to make sure that people know what they're getting. And then the second part is to put some more clarity around what the standard broker-dealers are operating under, what that standard is. And then to the extent that we need to provide more guidance on the investment advisor side, that's also something that I would think about doing, just so that we make sure that everyone, people throw out the word fiduciary a lot, and that's a great word, but that also has there's a lot behind that word. And so to the extent that we need to put any kind of guidance out to explain what we mean with that word, that's something I'm open to. But again, I think the devil is in the details, as everyone always says, but it really is. And so I think whatever we initially put out, we're going to really need to get a lot of input to make sure that we're doing things that are helpful to clients, to investors, which is what we care about.